It's that Super no Shima flow. Yeah.
Hey, what's up everybody? Jimmy the Gamer here and welcome back to another video of Red Dead Online on my channel. And today we're gonna be going through the patch notes of the new Red Dead Online update, which is the Frontier Pursuits. And what I'm gonna be doing in this video is basically just talking about the new ability cards and the new changes and balancing whether it's through PvP or movements or balancing the previous ability cards. I'm not gonna be talking about the roles or like the specific, how can I say, progression of them, because you can just check that on the menus in game. But these you can't see them in game. They're just patch notes, and we're gonna go through 'em. I mean, these are the new ability cards. You can see them in game. But the first one is sharpshooter. While using a scope, you deal more damage and take less damage. This is probably gonna be for those who like to use sniper rifles and like to snipe. I can see it, for a PvP build where you can just stay in cover and use this. And cover has been changed a little bit on this game, so that might come in handy. And kick in the butt, that's another ability card. Whenever you take damage, a proportion of it is added to your die. So basically you take damage, you regain the die. I don't know about that card. I can regenerate the die better than that. Live for the fight, you regenerate the die slowly over time. Okay, so basically you just regen the die just like you regen your health, but slowly. And I'm gonna guess when you upgrade it, it's gonna be like more gradually or something. Friends for life. While mounted, you and your horse take less damage. It's a good one. If you do a lot of free roam and you like to run around with your horse, that's actually really good. Fool me once, you take less damage each consecutive time you shot. This effect ends if you're not shot for 10 seconds. So basically, if you're not ends for 10 seconds, you don't get this effect. And basically, the more you get shot, the more damage you immigrate. So that's actually good. Iron Lungs is your stamina regenerates faster and you take less damage depending on your current stamina level. Okay, that's actually good. There's another one you deal, like we had one with peak condition. We have it on the game. You deal more damage based on the stamina level, but this one you take less damage. Okay, strength in numbers. You take less damage for every nearby ally to up to a maximum of 3 allies. So probably this is gonna be really good for those people who like to stick together in PvP in like hostile territories, and the one where you have to protect the one on your team. I can see it, someone likes to play in a team, and that one is a PS4 early access. The other one is PS4 early access as well, and this is one I'm really looking forward to. Is while dual wielding, you deal more damage and you are more accurate. Basically, if you dual wield the weapon, you deal more damage. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna be using this with the Lamats because I'm kind of liking the Lamats, but I don't like the accuracy and the reload time, and I also like the Schofields. But if you add also more damage to the Schofield and more accuracy, they're gonna be whew. So I don't know. And the last one is ride like the wind. Whenever you take or deal damage while mounted, a proportion of it is added to your health, to your horse health and stamina. So basically, this is about the horse. I don't know. Like I have a like my horse is 110 out of 10 health, so I think I'm good with that. The next one is about role skills and upgrades, and this is basically the one that you can see just in the menus when you join the game. Now I'm gonna be going through balancing and improvements in Red Dead Online. Players can now change the appearance of their character. That's something that we know that was coming. So basically, the first time you do it is free, then it's 10 gold bars, and if you have the what do you call it, the Outlaw Pass, you can get a voucher for it. Sometimes you can get a voucher to use it for free. The photo studio in Red Dead Online can be used to capture a posse portrait. Basically, you can take pictures as a posse now, and you can unlock some emotes in the through like the club rewards and all that. Ambient bounty hunters will now attempt to arrest players before killing them, and players can surrender in order to pay off the bounty through jail time. Okay, so if you're someone with a low honor who likes killing cops, you're gonna probably have a lot of bounty hunters who will try to arrest you. Okay, that one's looking good, but I'm probably not gonna surrender. But probably if you don't surrender, there's gonna be, consequences for that. Another one is improvements have been made to the detection of self-defense during conflict, escalating with members of ambient population. This means that the player will no longer become wanted if they did not start the fight. Okay, now this is good because a lot of times this happens in like crowded towns like Blackwater, Saint Denis, Valentine. I hate when this happens, but this is good. Ambient passengers of tram in Saint Denis may now enter and leave the vehicle when the tram is stopped. Okay. Ambient passengers of tram? Okay, okay. I don't know if that's something that really important, but sure. Movement and combat improvements. The thing is, I haven't downloaded the update day yet because of my connection. You guys probably know that if you watch my videos, but I'm reading this out of the patch notes. But I've seen a video and I think the movements and the combat improvements are way better. The following movements changes have been made for players in Red Dead Online. All on-foot movements, such as running, swimming, jumping, climbing, and all that, is now quicker and more responsive. Great. Player will now recover quicker from like ragdolling and combat diving and slope sliding. Okay, that's good. Animation and movement speed have been reworked in first-person camera to provide a better gameplay experience. I don't play in first person, but yeah, that's good. Player movement speed is now maintained when vaulting fences, climbing object ladders, and when aiming weapons. Oh my god. This is something I wanted for a long time. You know, whenever I'm like sprinting, then I aim my weapon, I want my guy to be back sprinting as well, you know. That's something that I wanted, and hopefully this is it, especially if you go like climb fences and all that. The on foot auto follow behavior has been returned to be less aggressive and more player friendly, but still helpful while sprinting or engaging in combat. Okay, I don't know what that is about, but I never had issue with that. The following combat changes have been made. Players in Red Dead Online. Directional damage indicators have been added. So basically, if you got shot by the left, you will see, I think, like blood splashes on the left. If it's from behind you, you'll see it's from behind you. It's from the right, from the right. This is really good in showdowns because sometimes I don't even know where the hell I'm getting shot from. And now, like the headshots are actually reduced, so you actually might have, you might have like a chance to react and not get straight up cocked. Now, what's the other one? All gun weapons can now be aimed, cocked, reload quicker for responsive combat. All gun weapons aiming camera have been reframed, making it easy to see oncoming targets, enemies. That, I mean, this is good. I never had really a problem with that, but this is good. Throwing weapons can now be equipped and thrown quicker. Yeah, this is something I had a problem with. Cover, entry, and transition are now more responsive. Yeah, I like this way better, man, because the cover system of this game isn't really that good, and now it's now harder for other players to remain locked onto you while in cover. So basically, cover is actually really good. Aiming and firing weapons while in cover are now more responsive, and cameras have been reworked to view the player's surroundings. So they try to push cover in the game, and I'm liking that. You know, any cover-based shooter, I'm liking it. Weapon reticle sway is now reduced when aiming while crouch. This makes sense technically. You know, you crouch, you're more you get more accuracy, I think. Enables small amount of aim assist while using weapons with scope. Basically, sniper rifles. You know, like they didn't have any aim assist, and I can see that this is a good change. Aim assist for weapon is no longer disabled while the ability cards are active. Was this a thing? Was this a thing actually? Aim assist for weapons is no longer disabled. I don't know if it was disabled before, but sure. Player can no longer aim weapons while they're on fire. Okay, this makes sense. The following melee changes have been made. Grapples, tackles, and breakouts are now much quicker. Difficulty of grapples and tackles is now based on the attacking player direction of the target. Tackles and executions are more likely to succeed while approaching from rear or side. Okay, so if you sucker punch someone basically, from the behind or from the sides, you have a more chance, like a better chance. You can now shove other players while sprinting toward them and tapping R2 basically. This will knock them off the ground while you remain standing. So basically you can run and shove players out of your way. I don't know where this is good, maybe if you want to fool around with your friends a little bit, but sure. The following interaction changes have been made into the Red Dead Online. Looting enemy bodies is now much quicker, and I can see it's much quicker. Reviving down players take less time. I wanted that for a while, and hopefully I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully it's good. Animation for hog tying, breaking, and cutting free are now shorter. Good. Hold button prompts have been shortened for many actions. Oh my god, including picking up animals, stewing pelts, and looting cabinets. Oh, I wanted this for a long time actually. I really wanted this for a long time. I hate it when I'm trying to actually like pick up an animal or stow it in my in the back of my horse and it takes ages. Picking up weapons during showdowns is now more responsive as well. The following horse and vehicle changes have been made. Animation for mountain horses in non-combat situations are now quicker. Animation for interim vehicles have been consistent timing are now slightly quicker in general. Long arm weapons can be aimed and fired while sitting in rowboats and canoes. Entering, aiming, and firing mounted weapon is more responsive. Okay, I'm gonna leave the link to this patch notes if you want to read it by yourself. Now there is in inventory and economy improvements. Player can now purchase up to 5 additional slots in stables. So basically there were 5 before, now you can have so basically 10 horses. Players can now carry a maximum of 50 pelts in their horse cargo, which is good. Players now can save up to 7 custom outfits in Red Dead Online, which is really good. Players now also can name their favorite outfits, which is something I really like. The sell price of basically, how can I say, jewelries has been increased. Watches and occasionally golden tooth, again added all that and that. I really wish that it's not only for jewelries, but sure, I'll take it. Playstyle improvements. The following improvements have been made to the hostility and playstyle in Red Dead Online. The preferred playstyle will now remember basically, if you're in defensive mode, if you do a showdown or do a mission, you will remember that you were in defensive mode. The amount of hostility that players receive when a defensive mode player passes charges on them has been increased. So basically, if you're trying to grieve defensive mode players, you get more hostility. I mean, I like that way better because I try to, even if I fight other players in free mode, I don't try to farm, defensive mode players because they're just trying to enjoy the game or their own. A player versus player damage resistance applied by defensive mode is now greater. So basically, if someone is in defensive mode, he gets more damage resistance. Improvements have been made to forgive unintentional or minor horse collisions while defensive mode is active. Okay, that's good. I hate that when that happens. Improvements have been made to minimize player ability to intentionally remove elder from defensive mode by running in the front of the horse and all that. So basically, there's sometimes when you're in defensive mode and you get kicked out of defensive mode because of another player doing another action, and hopefully this is fixed. Weapon balancing. Okay. The following. Okay. First of all, straight up, damage has been increased for all bullet weapons. Oh, okay, this is good. Speeding up combat, now requiring a few body shots to kill another. This is gonna make the PvP much faster and the headshots much harder, I think, to hit. I think they made the headshots much harder. So even if you go for body shots now, you can still get a kill. I know for most skillful player, headshots are still gonna be a thing, but if you have skills and you can land headshots, I think you should be rewarded for it. Damage fall off is now applied to critical hits when now using telescopic sights. Damage fall off is now applied to critical hits. Okay, so there are critical hits, meaning that long distance headshots are no longer guaranteed to instantly kill another player. Okay, so I guess critical hits in this game are just headshots. So basically, longer headshots are not guaranteed if you're not using a scope. Using obviously high velocity will increase the chances. Repeater weapons now deal slightly more damage when at very close to a target player. Okay, that's good. Damage fall off has been returned for the Springfield rifle, and sniper rifles have no aim assist when hip fire. To be honest, I don't think any fucking weapon should have aim assist while hip fire. This is just stupid, okay? This is just a stupid thing. Free aim improvements, control stick sensitivity curves have been returned to free aim. Made improvements for stability, fixed the problem that could occur trying to reload. Weapon accuracy spread now reduced quicker after aiming away. Basically, if you're using free aim, obviously your shots are more accurate, but you don't get the aim assists. Showdown modes improvement. Now there's gonna be, I think, more showdown playlists. Basically, shootout series, takeover series, elimination series. I think basically shootout series there were those game modes are basically death matches, and maybe takeover series are like hostile territories and all that. I'm really liking this change. So basically, I'm someone who likes to play hostile territories a lot, so I would really to only play that game mode again and again and again. I know it sounds stupid, but I like it. Ability card balancing. And now I've been waiting for this, okay? Hopefully Slippery Bastards gets a little bit of a change. I know people don't like saying that, but if Slippery Bastard worked as intended, it would be great. But since people are just using it, sprinting as soon as they get close to you, they just headshot, they just use shotguns. That's just a no-brainer, man. That's straight up no-brainer. You hate to see it. It's not a good, it's not a good tactic, gameplay tactic. But it's working in the game. Hopefully, there is some changes. The following balancing have been made to ability cards that are basically increasing the initial amount of Deadeye consumed when activating all Deadeye cards. That's good. Basically, you're gonna consume more Deadeye, and probably you're gonna need at least like 1 or 2 Deadeye restoration cards in your build. So there's gonna be now probably more people using those cards instead of using like damage cards, or how can I say, defensive cards, which will hopefully shape the meta for some time. Painted Black, the amount of Deadeye consumed by each shot has been increased. I mean, we all saw that one coming. Slow and Steady, this is the one that I use. Damage reduction while active has been increased. I'll take it. It's just damage reduction. And you still cannot run or sprint, but I don't care. I'll take that one. Slippery Bastard. This card no longer prevents player lock on when activated. So I think players can lock on to you now. Okay. Then what's the premise of this game? When locked onto a player using Slippery Bastard, okay, weapon accuracy spreads will be significantly increased. Okay, and fired bullets will be pushed towards the edge of the reticle. Okay, so basically you can still technically have an aim assist, but your accuracy is gonna be really bad. The same penalty for a player using Slippery Bastard. So basically, Slippery Bastard now is gonna be that clutch card where if you're probably over, how can I say, outgunned, there's probably a lot of people near you. You're gonna use Slippery Bastard to run away, throw some dynamites behind you, because they're gonna have a really hard time hitting you, and you're gonna have a really hard time hitting them, which is actually really good. The next one is the following balance and change to ability cards. Hangman now deals a fixed amount of damage to lasso enemies. I think he used to deal a progressive amount of damage, or a decreasive, I don't know. The Gift of Focus no longer has a penalty to damage dealt within this card is equipped. Okay, I don't know what the Gift of Focus was, but Hunk Down damage resistance while in cover is increased. Now applies to all types of damage received instead of just bullet damage. Okay, so that one is good. And I think, holy smokes, there is like a lot of Red Dead Online fixes, but I think those are just like minor fixes and like how can I say, glitches and all that. So that one is like way too hard to go through. There's way too many of them. So I'm gonna leave you guys in here. Hopefully.